solve problems. Look for problems scale you can attend to and begin to address it. And that is it. To create value, you need to look for problems. And we know we are facing the problem of petroleum in Nigeria, right? Even when we are the one that's producing, as the refinery, we are producing crude oil. We're having a problem of petroleum. What has Dangote done? What has he done? Solve the problem. It's a problem. And it's something at a scale that is high. And that's what is happening. And that has, everybody now, they want to sell Dangote refinery shares, IPO. You know, I will tell you that it's like it has been pre-sold. Everybody, people are even borrowing to buy something that's not here in the market. The one that's in the market, come and see price over pricing. If I buy at 30, 35 cents, I want to sell at 40 cents because people are in serious demand for it. What has happened? The value creation out of problem has brought about multiple. But don't forget, refinery didn't start today, right? The refinery started how many years ago? 10 years ago, maybe. With when he borrowed the 20 billion. But it was in, when people are saying, are you crazy? The guy was in the game for a very long time. Today, of course, he's thinking of another, he has moved on to another one. What do you say? Fertilizer. It's moving on in different areas, adding value in different. And don't forget, when Dangote was doing commodity trading, was he that a thing that say creating value? But when he started doing manufacturing and producing, then you have value that's impacting. I don't know why you get this. So please, when you want to create value, when you want to really be identified as top 1%, one area of must not miss what is value creation. I said look for what? Look for problems. What do you do after you look for problems? What happens? Deliver exceptional value. Then what do you do after that? You earn trust and loyalty. You know, I'm so passionate talking about this because many of us, the area we fail is this area. Some of us, we start well, but we don't end well. We don't end well because we miss what it takes to end. So in between, we miss the value we need to deliver. That's the area we make mistake. And I want it to be corrected so that it can be better for ourselves. Now, earn trust, grow the impact and influence. Are able to create value. You are for people. The society will not pay. But society will pay you for doing what others cannot do. Because what others can do, everybody can do it. Society can do it itself. Society can only pay you for your real capability. Society can pay you for the thing that you have done that, wow, we don't see, nobody can do it. And they pay you for it. So let's look for what society will pay you for. What thing you are able to do that will so much impact on the society that everybody wants to pay for it. And you become like a monopoly. What happened? To do that, what happened? You need what? Sit down. So sometimes you are moving around looking for a job for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Maybe you want to spend the first 6 months to sit down and take your bag for a laptop or iPad or anything to be searching for problems. Looking for what can you do that you can solve any slightest problem. The problem can be as small as moving goods from Victoria Island to Yaba. It can be as small as the little things that you can't think of that, oh, from your research, I want to solve on this, people are having a problem here. You know, when it comes to moving tomato from K2 to Ojota, people are not finding it easy. And you get that information. And that's why you just ask for, you get a vehicle. You don't need to buy a vehicle. That's part of the thing. I'm just giving an example. So if I know there's a problem of moving item from K2 to tomato, and to do that very well, there's so much demand for that. And to do that, I need to get a vehicle. The question is that do I need to buy a vehicle? Do I need to buy a vehicle? What do I need to do? Either you partner or you rent. You understand? If you rent a vehicle, you take ownership. If you partner, you split the ownership. You understand it? So, I mean, these are the areas that we need to be fast with in thinking. So, creating value is very, very key. It's one of the recent areas that the top 1%, they are better. Because they create value. When they create value, they earn trust. They deliver the value exceptionally. They don't just create the value, they deliver it exceptionally, and they earn trust in the process. You understand that? And by doing so, what happens? They attract more opportunities and resources. And after that, they reinvest and they multiply. And again, maybe because money is coming now, what are they looking for? More businesses. I mean, when somebody went to a particular city and said, "Oh, there's nobody that is doing recycling in this particular environment," and they saw that this is an opportunity. Again, don't forget, most of the things that we think they're new businesses, they are not doing in other places. Is that okay? So please, this one, we call this one value creation flywheel. You need to study it. Take it and just study it and just see at the key area because of time. Then the last one, the last one is my iPad is about shutting now, so I may likely refer to this. So I mean, this top 1% pyramid. In the top 1% pyramid, what I don't want to show in this top 1% pyramid, this is designed for us, honestly. It's most of the things I've said, I just try to put everything together in a way that I can see it. See, the first thing on the pyramid of becoming top 1%, the first thing you need this work is your purpose, your faith. Purpose is first thing. If you don't have a purpose, you can't be among the top 1%. If you don't know your purpose in life, why are you created? Why are you here? Why are you doing what you are doing? If you don't have a purpose, forget about it. You can't be among 1%. It's not meant for you. And the question is that I asked my first question: who has no aspiration? Nobody. Who has aspiration? Everybody. So if everybody has aspiration, then we must have a purpose. If you don't have a purpose today, when you get back home, please just sit down, disconnect yourself, and think, what's my purpose? Ask your question. What is my purpose? Then the next one is what? Mindset and your character is very important, because your mindset is what affects how you behave, right? If your mindset is longer, you will behave very well. If your mindset is to stay in a particular time, rob them and move away, you will just do what you want to do. But if you know that you are coming back to that time, you will think twice. Is that correct? So the second one is the mindset and character. It's very, very important. Our mindset, our character is the next level of foundation after we have had a purpose. Some people will not behave very well in a particular place when they know that it's just for a short time. But when you think longer, you behave. When you think that I'm still going to meet the same Brother Alimi in the next 10 years, I'll be asking myself, do I need to misbehave to him now? Because we know that we are still going to be meeting. It's coming next year. It's coming. Some people borrow money, they run away from MICA. The question is that if I know I still want to be meeting these people, do I need to run away? I'll be coming. I will behave. I won't have the mind that I want to run away. Some of the friends, some of the people that mistakenly they disconnect from our life, they're actually helping us, but they are destroying themselves. By the mentality, by the mindset. The entire back in Lord can move, Daddy. I mean, I was playing golf at the particular time. So, I mean, I was playing golf and I had some caddies. And you know the funny that the guy just came 1 or 2 times. He said to give him $100,000. He carried him for 10 days. And after 2 days, he disappeared. And 3 years after, he came back. He pretended that he didn't see him, but I called him. But where's my money? The point is that, and I was telling about him to other people. What has happened to him? This story. Character. So now, after that, discipline and consistency that you mentioned the other time. Discipline and consistency take you to the next parameter. If you are not disciplined, you can't move to the top 10. It's not possible. In that way, they are very disciplined. When you see the action, I'm sure you know, they are very, very disciplined. They stick to what they have decided to do. And competencies. See, if you have all of this, I don't have skill, something up here, it's a problem. Skill, they say skill builds success, but character does what? sustain success. The skill, your capability can build your success. But without character, you can't sustain success. Some people are very, very intelligent, but they are not wise. Some are very brilliant, but not intelligent. Intelligent, but they are not wise. There are two different things, three different things. Brilliance, intelligence, and wisdom. And Allah does with wisdom. Because if you are wise, then you have all. What do you say? Only Allah gives. Then the next one is value creation. And the last one is influence and leadership. You know, everything you see here is what? The foundation. You can see. You will never be able to build legacy and beneficial impact to others if you don't go through all this process. It's always very tight. It's very tight. So, the let's go, sir. Let's go, sir. Okay, so, you know, all of these things, I'll just keep them because of time. I mean, I know you are, you know, one of the things we are asked to do is the practical framework that guides how we do all of those things. You understand it? The practical framework. The first one is focus. The next one is execution, skill, time, and standard. See, all of these, they are very important in us coming to top 10. Very, very important in us coming to 10. When it comes to focus, I'll just one thing here. In focus, please, anything that is not useful for you, don't be distracted. Don't what? Distracted. Many of us will waste time on irrelevant. We spend time on irrelevant. In fact, some of us can watch movie for 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours on a day. Netflix. The time your mates are developing capability, you are busy with Netflix. You are not thinking of growing. In the next 6 hours, in the next 6 months, you spend 6 hours or 5 hours on Netflix, 5 times 180 days. You are done. That's no growth pattern. So focus. Focus on what matters. No distractions. If you need to cut off friends, cut off friends if they are distracting you. It's very important. The next one is execution. When it comes to focus, you said there is 80-20 Pareto, right? On focus. You know 80-20 Pareto. Think of 80% of what they give you value. Dedicate your time to that. Execution. You know, execution is very important. You know, all of these things. Oh, yeah, I know this thing. How do you practicalize it? That's the question. You decide on what to do, you plan for it, and you execute it. The first word, decide, plan, and execute, and review. When you decide, what are you deciding? You know, I mean, Warren Buffett said that if I'm given a task to do for the next 1 hour, I will spend 55 minutes to think about it. I will spend 5 minutes to do what? To execute. Because I won't just rush into execution without thinking. And thinking, I've thought through about where I'm going to move, the path, everything, the milestone. I've thought about it. In executing, I'm executing faster. I'm not wasting time because I've conceptualized everything in a better way. And that's what execution means. When you execute, if anything without execution is just entertainment. If you don't have execution, it's just entertainment. So some people, they have good ideas, good business ideas, but call them to come and execute it. You have created a bigger problem that needs to be solved. So if you are not good at execution, you cannot deliver value. It's not possible. The guys they are talking about, the Dangote, all of them, they are very sound at what? Execution. They know the people execution, the process execution, the policy executions, the equipment execution, the purchases. They look at, I mean, they decide everything with milestone, with questions. Accountability is in between. You are in a business, you have your colleague that you are giving as aspire, I mean, as slaps, there is turnaround time, nothing, no consequence, no accountability. And you think the company can grow because there's no execution. Eventually, everybody is focusing on input. Nobody is focusing on what? Output. And the top 10, the top 1%, their focus is what? Output. The employee focus on input. And that's why we say one of their mindset is that they think like employer, they don't think like employee. They think like owner, they don't think like employee. So execution has to be great. When it comes to execution, no sentiment. If somebody is not doing what you're supposed to do, just taking away, replace with whoever that will do it, because you need execution to move to the next level. But what happened? We destroy everything because of sentiment, and we don't move. The people on top one, they come and see the firing that's happening in their firms. I'm sure you know. They fire at ease. When they can make a mistake, anybody can make a mistake of recruitment. But what do? They fire at ease. They let you go. And their question, don't be a bad manager. A bad manager is somebody that's supposed to sack somebody by age 20, and you sack the person at age 40, you are a worse manager. So do what you need to do at the right time. Don't waste time. Execute flawlessly. Then the next one is skill stack. The area of skill stack means the core competence you need to build. Skill is what is very important. I said something the other time, I mentioned special knowledge, specific knowledge, real capability. If there's anything anybody needs to build, forget that you went to university, please. Let's just drop that. You could have gone to university to study anything. History, Yoruba, business, finance, anything you have gone to study. And you are not using them today. I have many people that are doing CFO today, and they did engineering, chemistry, but they are CFO of organizations. You have people that are building AI today, that they did English. People that are doing real estate that has nothing to do with real estate. The guy might study English language, and is the real estate expert. The question is that, why don't we just focus on skill as against credentials? It's very 4 years, 5 years university, and you can't say this is what you take out of it. But 4 years in something practical, you know what it takes. I'm not going to the university, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I'm only talking about something tangible, something concrete that it can be. Sometimes maybe you have to think about when you are young, when you are age 10, 6, 8, 10, 14. Maybe your mommy, maybe your parents used to tell you that you are very good at this, you are very good at that. It can be your specific knowledge. I need to think about, oh, I used to do this very well. I used to do it very well. And can be something you are even expanding on. That, oh, why now? Why am I wasting my time pursuing what I don't even know about, or what will not benefit me in life? So it's important to get a right skill. I'm sure nobody will be doing typewriting by now. A right skill is a skill of the future. There's a book, they call it Industries of the Future. Please go and read it. Industries of the Future. See, if you don't think about what will come in the next 5 years, 4 years, how do you want to become relevant? People that stay at top 1%, they are ahead of the curve. They think further, they think longer, and they are strategic thinker. They can see pattern. This one will not be relevant again. I told my people in the office, I'm an accountant, but my accounting knowledge, if I'm an accountant, I'm 16 years of an accountant, I may become relevant in the next 5 years or 3 years. Because you can imagine, I'm just giving you an example. You can imagine I buy something at MICA today, and I pay with my card. The next thing that's happening in the next 3 minutes or 2 minutes or 1 minute is that my P&L in the company is already sorted out. P&L, profit and loss account, is already, every entry has gone in. Nobody to post anything. No account to even do bank reconciliation. Everything has entered the system. So are you telling me that account will be relevant? Oh no, you can only be relevant to get to which the skill you can bring on board, your analytical skill. It's not more the accounting posting skill. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. Yes. So please, let's think ahead of the time. And that is skill. The skill they are building, they are skill of the future. The AI, what am I studying? What is current? What will continue to exist? And that's what is. Then the time allocation. The time allocation is very important because I need to allocate better time to what matters most. Don't forget, the hidden game. The hidden game played by the top 1% is that they allocate time to what matters. It's not that they work harder. No, they didn't work harder than you. They only work smarter. They won't work harder, they work smarter. So they allocate time to what matters most. So while you are busy doing all the things, you are working either 9 to 5, you are busy doing what will bring value to the society. They were busy looking at problems. They were not looking for job, they were looking for problems. But you were looking for job, and you got job 9 to 5, and you are spending time there. So that's the difference in all of this. The last one is standard. What is your standard? This standard deal with discipline. What is your standard? You must hold ourselves to a higher standard. If you don't hold yourself to a higher standard, you can't be among the top 1%. Higher standard means that, no, if everybody is doing this, I'm going to be like this. People come too late to party. People come late to function. And maybe this is my experience, a bad experience. And I'm sure my wife make jest of me of this. When we get to any function as early as possible, no, so you understand it? Because the truth is that, true, everybody is not there. You are the one there because they say it's 10 o'clock, they say 11 o'clock, they say 12 o'clock, or they say 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and you are there by 5 minutes, 10 minutes to 6. And the party doesn't start until 7:30, 8 o'clock. And you are just busy reading news. You sit down. So you must set yourself a standard. What standard? If I get to a party 1 hour, 1.5 hours after I leave of the time set, if I get by 7 o'clock, by 8:30, if it's 1 hour, or by 8 o'clock, no matter whether they have just started or they have not started, you take your leave because you know the time you want to spend, and that's when you respect your own time. It means that you respect yourself. The only person you can compete with is not others, so it's yourself. You have to compete with your previous self. You have a new self and your previous self. You have to compete with yourself. So because people can manipulate your time and they can mislead you, don't allow your time to be manipulated. Can you just stay with your time and do and respect your time so that you can get something better? Every minute, time for top 1% is a resource. Top 1%, they regard time as what? As a resource. They don't want to spend it anyhow. Honestly, I envy people today when I see how we are using our time. I just wish I would be in that category and just be playing journey. But the truth is that you don't have the time. So it matters to you more. And time, the Prophet said that al-waqtu kasoif in lam taktor b'shein kotaka, that is a knife, a time is like a sword. Al-waqtu kasoif, a time is like a sword. In lam taktor b'shein, if you don't cut it with something, kotaka, it will cut you. So if you don't cut time with something, it's a sword. If you don't cut it with something, it will cut you. You will not realize when it is cutting you until it has cut you. For 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you don't know the time it's cutting you. But by the time you realize, you are gone and you are done. And at that time, can you make it up again? Maybe not. So spend more time to do better things. 50%, 40% of your time, what matters? Focus on it on a daily basis. On every day, categorize 60% of my time. What is most important today that I need to attend to? What matters most that I need to attend to? Then what is less important? What are the routine things I need to do? 20%. Then I need to rest. I need to maybe 20%. So the more you're able to do this, you are doing a mental management of yourself and of your time. And you are asking yourself crazy questions. You are challenging yourself. And this is what matters most. Because the truth is that there are many things to do in this world. There are too many things to do. There are many things competing for our time. Too many things. Everybody demands your time. They need your time. And they are playing on it. They want to take it. You have to struggle and fight back. And the only way you can fight back is to to plan and to have a purpose in life. Finally. So, please go. Yeah. What kind of 1% do you want to be? 1% in character, 1% in discipline, 1% in service, 1% in integrity, 1% in usefulness. This question is you, it's not me. I've answered my own. I keep on answering my own every day and asking myself my own every day. It's like, what type of 1% do I want to be? What do I aspire to be? Already thinking about several things. I'm working. When do I own? When do I build? When do I impact value? Am I creating value? Am I impacting? These are questions that self-reproachment, you keep asking yourself every day. Then the top 1%, really, they really chase money. They build valuable assets. Valuable assets. They build trusted institutions. They have influential networks. Not built in a day. Over years. That's why they are long in the game. And scalable system. A system that can work in Nigeria, work in other parts of Africa, or work anywhere. I mean, current world of IT, you can work from anywhere. We have people in Canada, in US that are working. It's like they are working from Nigeria. They are working in Nigeria. So there's no more a domain limitation. And wealth follows as consequence. But that's a key takeaway. Don't follow profit. Follow money. What you follow is what? Purpose and value. If that's the only thing you want to take away, it's very important. Don't follow profit, don't follow money. Follow purpose and follow value. Because all those money, you'll be tired. They will come. They will come. And you will smile. You will smile, you will enjoy yourself. When those things come, you have made, I'm actually talking from experience. You have made sacrifice of some 3-4 years that money was not coming. When those things come, you have made, I'm actually talking from experience. You have made sacrifice of some 3-4 years that money was not coming in. But you are building yourself. You are building capacity. It's happened to a number of us here too. You are building capacity. When the money comes, it comes effortlessly because you have something you have put before. Now, Islam does not reject worldly excellence. No. In fact, it elevates it. I don't think there's any excellence in the world that match what Allah wants. Allah says, Allah is clean. Allah is excellent. Allah you be the Muslimin. Allah loves those who are excellent. The more I remember that Allah loves those who are excellent, the more the push to push yourself to excellence. Because it's not a man that says, I love excellence. Allah says, Inna Allah yuhibbul muslimin. Allah loves excellence. What do you, I don't see what, so meaning that anything that is, thank you very much. Anything that is mediocre, you reject it. You can imagine when you reject mediocre everywhere, in your house, in everywhere, about children, you just mediocre because you are building excellence. You want them to be better in life. Because excellence brings so much value. Allah, it elevates it by directing it toward a purpose that extends beyond what? Beyond this life. Excellence of Allah is extend, it goes beyond this life. It's not having the word admire you. It is what? Having Allah be pleased with you. And says, work, for Allah see your deeds, and so we are his messenger and believers. What is key is, nothing stopping us from complete. Nothing stopping us from competing in this world. You must compete. But compete in good deeds. Exactly. And Quran, I think Quran chapter 15, I think it says something about compete. And with that, let those who compete. Compete in ihsan. Compete in good deeds. Allah wants us to compete in good deeds. So when you are competing in excellence, you are doing a fantastic job. Don't look back. Don't look at anybody mocking you or talking about you. Just compete in good deeds. Yes. Be yourself because you have accountability. You are taking risk. You are going to face consequence of what you do yourself. You know. You understand it? But you should not forget that Allah Azza wa Jalla wa Malik al-Mulk tu'ti mulka man tasha wa tanzilu man tasha wa tu'izzu man tasha wa tudillu man tasha bi yadika al-khair inna ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah has power over everything. He bestows wealth, he bestows mercy. He honors you. He's the one that honors, he's the one that dishonors. It's one that makes you king. It's one that can also dethrone you. He has power over everything. In the midst of all of this, we are to aspire. La yugayiru man biqawmi hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Will not change anything for anybody until you change what is your hand. Will change the change you are talking about. Your desire to be among the top 10 has to come from you. Make a change. La yughayyiru ma become. It won't change anything for a particular group. With the group, hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim, until they change what's in them. Change yourself. Define your new self, your desired self. Who is your desired self? You are not competing with me. I'm competing with myself. So define your new self. This is Sulaiman A. I'm Sulaiman. This is Sulaiman A. Let me compete with this Sulaiman A or Sulaiman D or this Sulaiman, desired Sulaiman. Let me compete with him. And every day you have to do that. In ihsan, in everything, in taqwa, compete with him. Call him, tell him, I'm competing with you. Because you want to be there. And the more you are far from it, the more you are not happy with yourself. So I'm competing with you because I want to be you. I don't want to be Brother Said Alimi. I don't want to be Brother Sulaiman Lokulana. I don't want to be anybody. I want to be the best of myself that I've defined. So I'm not competing with anybody. I'm competing with myself. But I've defined myself according to what Allah says. Please, I need water. Okay, thank you.
From come to this very important session. And I think before anything, just let's first return to each other to the cover for as we have this in our in our cover. So you don't be a introduction and so I believe we will have some questions. We have some questions to take, some from the brother side and some from the sister side. So let's indicate if we have questions. Okay. That's for 3 questions from the sisters. Please indicate. Do you have questions from the sisters? That's all.
Thank you so much. Well, top of session, and I believe this is your generation to exist. We are proud to be one of the top segments. It's very fast, familiar to me. Okay, simply, sir, the very point is talk about mindset. And I strongly believe that the mindset of those who are not part of the top percent, 1% is fear of unknown and taking risk as well. Those who are mentioned, they are big fans because they can always see identify problems and find solutions. How do we overcome that fear of the unknown and be able to take risk as well? Because business, mentoring business, you must be able to because I remember that it was the other one time said lots of money and you must remember that's one. The second one is quickly everyone wants to be wants to take a chance when it comes to entrepreneurship, business as well. But finance is always a very big one. If you ask everybody in the room, like all of us have what we can do, but if I want to start anything to how do I start even with on a very small scale? Because it's very tough doing business here in Nigeria.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. I can't. Oh, okay, which one is better? Okay, let me just save time. It's taken. Okay, let me just, so that's repetition.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, mine is a comment, not a question per se. There's not enough hiring for the great topic being discussed today. And of course, I'm sure everybody will have taken one thing from the session. The concern I have personally, I think I've mentioned at the time on the floor, is how can MICA start moving from speaking to meaningful impact? So what do I mean? We've had great speakers, they speak and touch on a number of great topics that, of course, will positively affect or impact the life of members. But as a community, sometimes I sit back to look at how can MICA start to measure the impact that they are making in the life of members. So, for example, we have many young people that are just out of school, they are still struggling to understand and find their footing. We have people that have small businesses, they don't even understand channelization, they don't understand which market, they don't even understand, they just know that they're selling Zoho, for example. So how can we start to mentor such individuals by making sure that we're able to take their business from point A to point B. And at the end of every year, we can sit back as a community and ask ourselves, how many people, we can say, 10 people, MICA makes impact. This person couldn't get a good job, but by virtue of mentorship, connection, to multinationals and all that. 5 people were able to get a job, and 5 small businesses impacted, meaning that, somebody who just suddenly not that rich, so for were able to take that person by having a well-branded shop, having different partners buying from that person. It's easy. But I think, we continue to look at this and we don't take action. So I would like to speak to the leadership of Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I think the last, sorry.
It's almost like
I think another thing for that. Straight to my question. In the top 1%, what I see is that there's a lot of concentration on one goal and ambition at some point. For instance, you ask us to say Sulaiman and Sulaiman left together so that we can measure against each other. Sometimes you look at your siblings, your friends, you start together. And then there's a point where I don't look up to their weight and their weight becoming a burden on you. And I see that people that transcend themselves, that are able to discern when that's letting go and trying to scale to the next point of their life. So how do you know that it's time to leave the point of start so that you're able to scale to the next stage? Because I use that maybe you can compare to black stars when and the like. That's the first part. So the second part is the part where you talk about continuous learning, identifying problems. There are also key stages, for instance, now, you want to expand your knowledge, but there are some limitations or barriers to exploring. Say, for instance, you have the option of starting a business, getting a new job, or taking a master's. And there are, for instance, taking a master's, you don't get scholarship, you have to for fund. Starting a business, you have to challenge your time because you are doing 9 to 5. Then you have the option of getting into a tech job where you're also considering, okay, would that be worth my while? How do you decide what part to navigate when you have such complexity to navigate?
So I think the last question.
The question is, how do we identify long-term opportunities? That's the next thing. But if everybody would identify long ways. So we talked about the top 1% going for opportunities and make a long-term impact. So how can we be able to identify that, but at the same time also put in place that risk management and measurement. So either upside risk, oh, this thing is something that presents an opportunity or a form of risk and maximize that opportunity, or what are the risks that we need to take care of to make sure that that long-term opportunity.
So mine is straightforward and a bit controversial. There's this certain myth about people in the 1%, especially when you're talking about successful 1% in the world, that their ways are not totally pure in both in the local balance. From your own experience, would you say it's really possible to get to that 1% you are talking about and still fully align with our Islamic values? I don't know your perspective on that. Thank you.
Okay, those should be all the questions.
Okay. Let me quickly take you from the air, please, fast, so that I don't forget. The last question, the more reason I separated the worldly 1% and also the top 1% based on Islam. The worldly top 1%, they have some mindsets and they have some things that they do consistently. One of those things that we highlighted is that they create value. So in the process of creating value, they stay longer game, and along the line, they may not be totally clean. You understand it? But they have appeared to be clean. I don't know whether you get me. They have appeared to be clean because that's what that can give them the leverage needed to scale to the next level. Or is that they get the leverage or they have the leverage from the word go. If they have the leverage from the word go, means that they have made so much money through their whatever sharp practices at the word go, they can leverage on that money to continue to utilize that money. But what we are saying is that for the real top 1%, they have that, they go into business, they are looking towards taking less time. So they build leverage along the line. They build credibility from accountability to credibility, and they use that one to get leverage along the line. So to answer your question, not every top 1% are that clean. You understand it? But most of the time, they meet those criteria we have listed. You understand it? Long time, they are long in the game. You get it? And in the process, they have made some mistakes, they have done some things. They can also recover from what mistake they have made by regrets and by making reconciliation with those they made mistake with. But the point is that they could realize later that, they don't need to have these practices. So not totally clean, but they have a long-term view of the game, not just a short-term view of the game. So for top 1%, Islam, they are totally, from what is described, they are totally clean. You get it? The more reason we say, okay, yeah, they have area of convergence, they have area of difference. Because if somebody is chasing what, you get it? Some may want to do anything it takes to get that word, to get that weight, to get that influence. So either some sharp practices there and there, but the point is that eventually you see them there. It's not that they are totally clean getting there, but they are able to maintain some discipline, some practices that at least on a larger note, it takes them there, and they meet the criteria of top 1%. That answers your question. Yeah, the next one, quickly, sorry. My brain is going down because of food. So, how do you identify long-term opportunity, and how do you manage them? Long-term opportunity to be identified, it takes diagnosis. You understand it? You are thinking of what problem do we have now? Is that problem continue to sustain for a longer time? What would demand for that problem, to a solution for that problem? What is the scale of the demand for the solution of that problem? Is that problem domestic or is it international? Does it need any innovation? If you do something now, will you be the first mover advantage that you can build scale, that you can, cover the space? You understand it? So the first thing that you identify, there's a problem that is not just a localized problem. That's a bigger problem that everybody wants solution for. So when you're talking about that kind of solution you are looking to, and the problem, the solution you are talking about, it's the scale is higher, it's larger. It's not that, in econ you call it inelastic. You get it? The demand for it is inelastic, kind of. So you know there will be demand for it. What Dangote has put it together, you also consider the environment, the population, that no matter what happens, for the next 20, 30 years, this will still be much more in need. So that's a large-scale solution you are providing. And when you talk about risk management, growth comes with risk. Operating at the scale comes with risk. The first you want to think about, and that is what we call begin with the end in mind. Execution. Practical framework I put in place is execution. Decide, I'm going to this. What do I need to put in place? So that you have everything in place. Not everything like that. You have a mindset of excellence. You have main thing in place. People, no shortcut. Processes, no shortcut. Equipment, no shortcut. Then you list all the risks that you can face. There's something called checklist approach. Checklist approach is for you when you want to go into something, you draw the checklist of possible things that can happen. In fact, scenario analysis. What's the worst thing that can happen in this place? What if a competitor come and take business away from me? I don't know whether you understand it. List the worst that can happen in that and begin to put down. So what are the mitigants? These are the risks. We call it the risk register. What we normally do is to bring those who understand that business, who have been doing it, not successful, bring them to the table, organize a session for them. Let everybody talk after food. Let them say all sorts. Everybody will talk about what their experience is. You have to list them. In office, we list people put something down on risk register. If I'm a risk manager, I will call you, who are the users, to list everything that can happen, that can go wrong. I will list that, then we list the mitigant. So in providing services, I will be working on the mitigants because I already know ahead what are the challenges this group of face on different fronts, social, government, on different areas, financial, everything will list it. And it's like you begin with the end in mind and you're able to cover those areas. If risk is coming up later, the minimal, it's not that you don't know the risk. And that answered the question asked by that brother, that there are things that are known, there are things that are unknown. If you must have a business that you want to go into and you don't know whether you're going to succeed or not succeed, the question is that, do you have a knowledge of what's going to happen? There are things in a particular business that are totally unknown. You can't predict it. And there are some things that are known. So first, let's deal with known. Let's deal with known and unknown. You get it? What I'm saying is that when challenges, business happen, what are the things that I need to know about this particular business? Many of us will go into business without having the detail about the business. We don't know about the business. We know that brother Alimi is doing the business. Let's me also do the business. You don't know the nitty-gritty of the business. And you don't even have an advisor who is an expert in the business. And we go into it. Eventually, in the next 2-3 months, you get caned. And you come back and say the business has failed. No, the business didn't fail. You failed. Because you didn't do enough studies, visibility study to know whether the business is a good one or not a good one. It's not every business you also need to go into. Do you have the capability, what it takes to go into that business? Do you have the skill set to go into that business? See, when you don't know about the business, don't go into it. Don't go into any business that you don't know about. Go into business that you have specific knowledge about and go deep in it so that you can make so much money from it. Doing business for business sake is a waste of time. You wasted your time, you wasted your energy, you wasted money. Doing business because I want people to also see me, I also do business, is a waste of resources and a waste of your life. So the more this thing I said, knowledge of a business is very important. The first thing, do I know the business? Do I have what it takes to do the business? Can I scale the business? Then you go into it. So I think that will resolve your issue of known and unknown. There are areas of unknown. You can't predict. Nobody could have predicted COVID-19 when it happened. It came in. But now you can even use COVID-19 to predict another COVID-19. Because we have knowledge of it has happened before. And it can happen again. So I won't take it from, I will never take COVID-19 away from my risk list. Because if it has happened before, you can see something again happening again like that. I don't know whether you get that. So in terms of business, let's know the business before we go into the business. Don't let us do business because we are doing business. Again, know the nuances, the rudiment of businesses. Those who know better, they make money better than those who do not know. But you are playing the same business and they beat you into it because they know more than you do. And you are not even doing any research. You are not making any effort. You are not learning the business. Some, they don't know the business and they learn about the business. But you don't even do anything and you are not learning. The next one, quickly, I hope I'm not too fast. Many want to invest but cannot access capital. Okay, we have many of us that we want to do business but we cannot access capital. The question is, I'm meeting you for the first time. Definitely, if you come to me for capital, I won't give you because I don't know detail about you. Your character is very important. And you know, I said something. Compounding is very important. Compounding curve of excellence. It takes time. You are building reputation. There are some people that they will call you that, oh, they need money from you. They need to borrow money from you. You won't think twice before you give it to them. And for some, you'll be promising them tomorrow, the day after, tomorrow, the day after. Why? There have been reputation built along the line. So for capital, many of us SME businesses, the question is that it doesn't just happen fast. You want to take money. Somebody wants to give money. The giver wants to think that, is my money going to come back? Am I sure this money can come back? And when can it come back? If I'm not sure, will I lend? I won't lend. And I think that has come to the question the brother at the back, I forgot, the brother mentioned, he discussed about what is MICA doing towards ensuring that we have this kind of a session. I mean, kind of a support to people that want to do business, SME and the like. And I think that's a call to action. A call to action because they need a forum of SME in MICA, maybe MICA SME, and you come together, but the first solution is not capital. The first solution is getting to know them and get to know what they do. The first solution is diagnosis. What are they doing? And advisory. And another solution is taking them to a level that they are ready for capital and you deploy capital. And there is these business opportunities that you know that business can give you about 1.5 or 2 million annually. You understand it? And if you say that you are going to leave that business to just focus on masters, that would be a bad decision, I believe. The next question I want to ask you, is it possible for you to have your master program pattern? I'm just asking. If it is possible for you to have it pattern, why don't you do it part-time? If it's not possible for you to have it part-time, this business you want to do now, if you don't do it now, what competitive disadvantage are you going to face? Will anybody come into the business and do it and make money and edge you out? Are you going to face challenges of competitors if you don't do it now? So I think for everything, there's an opportunity, there's a time. Sometimes you meet the opportunity and you meet for life. So it is a question of decision and situation. Here, this is come to situation analysis. I will look at several factors. If I don't do this now, will it be taken over by somebody and do it better and make money? And if I come by the time I finish my master, I don't have business to come into again. My masters, who is chasing me for masters? It's simple, but yet it has a lot of things. So now? Started it now. What is the future of the business? Am I going to have an early mover advantage in the business? That has not been done before. If I don't participate in this business with my full time, can I capture the advantage in this business? If I participated with a full time, can I really scale it up better and get more money better and stabilize it, then go for my master? I think there are a lot of things that you can decide. Value, which gives you higher value at the time you are thinking of, and again later time. The next 5 years, which give me higher value? Masters or business? Masters or business? If masters give me higher value in the next 5 years, let me go for masters. If business give me higher value in the next 5 years, more than that, then please forget master now. You can do mistress for now. You do masters later. So I think it is as clear as that for me, because some decisions are not too complex, but again, it's about you, what you want, what's driving you, what you want to achieve in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, and how this will be a missed opportunity or a captured opportunity. I think that is, when the decision is complex, please, I think you don't take a complex decision, you don't take it, just go into it like that. You must atomize it. There's something called atomization. Atomization is breaking down the decision, the issue into different areas, into different atoms, and see, so that you can see clarity. Because again, you have to leverage on several things. You have to make research on several things. Ask people, ask questions. Some decisions we take that will just take lightly. Honestly, there are bigger mistakes. You can imagine I want to make a decision about investing in agriculture or investing in transportation. And throughout my analysis on paper, I must call somebody who is a guru in transport business to even get advice from him or her. Not for one, until I finalized my decision and I decided to go ahead. Of course, that's a fatal mistake. Because we have industry experts, those who know the nuances, the nitty-gritty of the industry, of what they operate. If I go to agric or farming, of course, I pray that I'll be able to get my shoe back from the place, because I don't know anything about it. But I know people say it's making money, but the point is that it's making money. Do I know the nitty-gritty? Do I know the risk? Do I know the nuances? Do I know what it entails? If I go, any business you go into, you must have information, advisors who can tell you. In fact, for me, really, for some of these things we do in the office, in our office, that we are going to business, we want to make a decision, I need body of experts, 2 or 3 people who can tell you go or no go, aside from your analysis. All those models you see, all those financial models on paper, they are as useless as they are in the document. Because sometimes they can be non-connected. They are just documents. You need real data. Thank you very much.
Alhamdulillah, for your invaluable knowledge that you have shared with us. I believe all our questions have been attended to. Still have some more we remember.
Oh, okay. Please, let me repeat the question. Oh, yes, exactly. So,
please, there's actually a question in what you say. I've seen a lot of friends, people go together, and you mentioned it, one partner is not moving and the thing they should be moving. How do you make that emotional decision to let go? Sometimes it's also a family. It's time to move on out of this family business and be on your own. Michael Jackson and his brother. At some point, you have to pray. How do you cross making such a? And then the brother will talk about the top 1% that are rolling and that they usually take 90% of the wealth and inequality. I think the focus of this lecture is what can we take from those ones? It's good that they are very disciplined.
Yeah.
It's good that they see father than we can see.
Yeah.
And then it's not only about money.
Yeah.
It could be in sports, it could be in
Yeah.
knowledge, it could
Yeah.
be in anything. Just as
Thank you. That's why you see Michael Jordan, I mean, because it can be in any. Now, when I said, please, this is very important. Again, and I'm going to be very frank with it. You know, when I said competing with myself, I'm not referring to compete with anybody. I said it's an imaginary Sulaiman. It's like the second me, not any other person. I want to compare because again, the best way of competing is to compete with yourself. But you must have a base of competition. You are competing with yourself in what? I'm who I am, but I know who I want to be. So I'm competing with who I want to be. That I have a personally described properly. I have the detail of who I want to be in Taqwa, in Ahsan, in ihsan, in different things. I know I have the picture. So the question is that I'm competing with that person. I mean, that's me. That's me that I want to be. I'm competing with him. See, on business, you know, the moment you cannot make a decision, business is different from family. There is something they say, and one of the training we got, that you have a tunnel. You pour time into the tunnel, into the funnel. You pour time, you pour money, you pour emotion, you pour energy into the funnel. But you expect something. You expect that at the end of the funnel, you get something. Inputs can get the desired output. When we cannot separate business from emotion, then what we do is to destroy business. If you cannot take a decision that no family member will work in my office, no family member will work in my business. Because why you say that? You are saying that because you are trying to run away from emotion that will not allow you to take the right decision. You need at all the time that you want to make a decision. It is a set up a business. It is Sulaiman Limited. Please, if you want that business to survive, any decision you want to make in the business, make it business decision. The day you bring in emotion into that business, that day you destroy the business. And that is why I said, you can imagine you need to sack your brother as a pro, and your brother is colluding with outsiders to make money, and you discover, and everybody was shouting, and you say, you call him, don't do that again, blah, 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 and he continues to be in the business. You have passed a message to other people working that, guys, I mean, we can to do a lot of things. But if you sack that brother that's in the business, if you sack him, that you involved, no matter who is involved. So what I'm saying is that in for the partnership, please, no emotion. Analyze, do you need to be, is this partnership working? You are very aggressive to drive business, but your partner is not. He doesn't see what you see. Then you are not together really. You separate and you focus on the business you need to do, on your business. And the reason I said that is that it's better you separate early than wait till the time that you create problem for two of you. Because the point that you get this, you become